Alright, and as for part 2, it's being made right after part 1. Season 1, episode 6, Ghostbusters. There's a traveling magician named Trixie stumbles into town and starts upshowing every pony else. Now, this episode has a setup I can deal with. If I can deal with it quite well, also, I can forgive anything that this episode did wrong because it has a new writer, Chris Savino, and he's only written 2 episodes so far. Or maybe he'll have some good returning episodes in season 5, but I digress. Anyway, so I can look past the flaws, and the twist ending is so awesome that I won't even spoil it for you. Anyway, other than that, this episode's pretty boring. I mean, like, that's the only way to describe it. Yeah, that's the only way to describe it. Long pauses. Other than that, this episode was kind of boring, other than the ending. Anyway, so, Season 1, Episode 7, in Dragon Shy. First episode of Megan McCarthy. And this is the first great episode of the show. It's not where the show got good, in my opinion, but it was the first episode of the show that I felt was great. I mean, like, a lot of people can agree with me on that one. Fluttershy must overcome her fears and confront a dragon. This is another setup I can deal with, except this one is handled much better. And this is apparently a reference to The Hobbit in its fullest, which I didn't know because I didn't watch The Hobbit. Yeah, I know, I didn't watch The Hobbit. Whatever. Anyway, so this episode is great. The jokes were kind of few, but it was a very serious episode overall. As for the next episode, Season 1, Episode 8, Look Before You Sleep. This was the first episode of Charlotte Fullerton, and boy does this one show. Applejack and Rarity must stay in the same house together during a thunderstorm. Alright then, so, yeah, my main problem with this episode is that Twilight is there the whole time, but it is completely blind to a reality. If she wasn't there, this episode would probably be better. Rarity and Applejack get at each other's throats a lot. Twilight is watching, but doesn't seem to notice a thing. However, once again, this is the first episode of Charlotte Fullerton. And trust me, this won't be the last. This episode is crap, in my opinion. Why other people praise this episode, I personally think that it's crap. There's a difference between acting childish and acting like Rarity and Applejack are acting like childs in this episode. Season 1, Episode 9, Rattle Gossip. The main 6 think they were cursed, and 5 out of 6 blame a nearby zebra. This is the first appearance of Zikora's recurring encryptic zebra, who is a recurring character in the show, which I can deal with. Other shows have recurring characters, and the curses were just hilarious. My favorite part of the episode is the part where or Fluttershy sings. Because the curse made her sound hilarious. Alright then. Anyways, so this is an overall great episode. And the next episode is going to be yet another great episode. Season 1, Episode 10, Swarm of the Century. Strange creatures called Parasprites invade Ponyville and start eating all the food. This episode is weird. I'll go right out and say that. Pinkie Pie comes on top for no reason. And ends up being the solver of this problem. This is apparently a tribute to the movie Gremlins, which I also haven't gotten time to see. I've heard it's a good movie, but this is a great episode still. Anyway, so I'll see you next time for part 3! Oh yeah, and also it was the first episode where M.A. Larson wrote.